Evening, Gooners. Welcome to the Gooner Booth. Sorry we're late. My fault. Late dinner. But yeah, you know what to do, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Welcome to the show. Break from the Premier League. Although we got away with it, I think. Aston Villa dropped points as well, so we sit pretty at the top of 7 points. So look, we didn't play well. Neither did Villa or Man City. So we go on as we means to go, and we've gained a point on both of them. So we'll take it. But yeah, on to the Champions League. An away fixture to Milan. They beat us last time around 1-0. So I think we owe them a little bit of we owe them a game pretty much. It's not going to be an easy game at the sounds here. It never is. But looking forward to this one, Wayne. So welcome, break. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, mate. I mean, we haven't had the Champions League for a while, have we? So, you know, it's was it a month or so? I think it was the last Champions League game, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's nice to break the norm, mate. You know, there's been a lot of discourse. I want to kind of focus more on the Champions League, but there's a lot of people are sort of, you know, ourselves included, a little bit. Oh, this is our opportunity. You know, PTSD sets in with us. You know, we just want to see our team win, and we want to, you know, Premier League's not going to be easy, Tone. And one thing someone said as well, which they're very, very, very right, he said, what would have happened if in 2003, 2004, the Invincible season, and we drew 0-0 against Fulham, we drew 1-1. I think there's a sequence of results where we drew 3 and 1-1, right? But if we were drawing, like, what would Twitter discourse be? Oh, Henry's rubbish, Vieira's rubbish, you know, Lundberg's. Yeah. You know, we have to look at it in that kind of context. You know, that the Invincibles team, what they achieved was fantastic, and this has obviously been why I speak about it, because it's our last time we won a league title. But they wasn't perfect, Tone. They had poor games, and you do sometimes. You know, you look at it, high intensity semi-final against Chelsea. And then you're going to a highly organised Nottingham Forest team that don't want you to have space and want you to do anything against them. That's the Sean Dyche team. So the discourse online has been a little bit, you know. But why I bring that up is why we can move swiftly on to say, look, it's a new competition. We're practically sort of like into the next phase of it. So that will be kind of my 11 will be incorporated into my thought process there, Tone. You know. It's just not have a little bit of a fresh, different competition. Give some players a go, as well as trying to maybe be competitive. We don't want to be embarrassed. We're not going to be embarrassed anyway. I don't think Arteta will ever set a team up nowadays to be embarrassed, and I don't think we will. But I think he does need to keep it a bit fresh. The most important game for me right now is Man United, but I think he'll go a bit stronger than my 11. So, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree.
Yeah, no, we'll get into it. Charles. Put quite a few comments in whilst we was waiting to go live. I hope you're online, Charles. We're going to go through some of them. Matt, Gooner Booth, mates, how are you? Rotation. That's all what is going through my head before Inter. Yeah. We agree. If you're online, mate, thank you for the comments. There's quite a few. We'll run through them quickly. Gooner Booth, I don't know about you guys, but I'd at a minimum want to see Saliba, Odegaard, Zubimendi and Gyökeres all four taken out of the first 11 versus Inter. I mean, when Mosquera's back, so it's possible.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I think Gyökeres as well, which needs to be taken out of the firing line, because I think, you know, you can have a good game at Chelsea, and then because Murillo, one of the fastest and strongest defenders in the league, you know, he's recovered, he's got good recovery pace. Yeah, and everyone's going, because of that section, because he didn't put the ball in the back of the net, he's shit again. You know, the discourse we have to calm down with it, Tone. You know, come May, you know, I'm not, you know, as I thought my stance will always be that. But yeah, it's a little bit, he needs to be taken out of the firing line, Tone, because it was ridiculous. Yeah. You know, he was there, he had a good game, and then he struggles against, you know, Nottingham Forest, and he's shit again.
Interesting question from Charles here as well. Akanji said in his preview he feels Bayern Munich are the best team on the planet today. Leave aside our result versus Bayern. You guys think versus good versus Bayern on paper. Classic underplay tactics. You think you guys think V good? What's that mean? Sorry, I'm missing something now. I'm assuming you mean us versus them on paper. Is that what it says?
I say in a sense. I mean, I think, I think what he's trying to say is obviously, classic underplay. It's just
Well,
tactics, really. Who does Akanji play for, by the way? Is he
is
not Bayern? Is he,
yeah,
or is he
yeah.
Inter?
Did he go Bayern?
I can't listen. I can't remember where he went. Have a look, mate. But
Go on.
yeah. Listen, I mean, yeah, Charles. I mean, it's we showed them we are, but listen, I don't want anyone to say we're better than if they think Bayern's going to win it, if they think Real Madrid's going to win it,
Oh,
they think
Inter Milan,
Barcelona's
mate.
going to win it.
He's on loan to Inter
He's in the
from City.
Milan.
So, yeah.
So yeah,
So of
listen.
course he's gonna try and shit on us.
Yeah, of course it is.
No, I also heard we promised Thomas Frank that he'll be off from the ticket wait list if Tottenham get rid of the game.
That's absolutely brilliant. You know what, Charles? If Tottenham sack him, he could potentially be at the. Someone's saying he might be at a potential title parade, but that's all messing about. But it is well established. It's well established. He has been. But look, George Graham managed Tottenham and he done decent. So we can't,
we'll have to see if Alf's free the last 5 minutes of the show, mate, just to come on and talk about how he feels about Tottenham.
See what Alf thinks. Yeah,
Alf, if you're watching, mate, let us know if you're free. We'll get you on the last 5 minutes and we can have a discussion about Thomas Frank because I think you need a bit of therapy, buddy. Gooner Booth, with the Derby win, a large percentage of Man United fans have started the best left back, ours, best right back, ours, best centre middle. Oh, they've started that debate of they, of course they have. I think the worst thing for us if we go and get pumped by them at home, I don't think we will because we've got a strong record at home. But
what
I think
it was, mate,
back in their box.
They literally come out the traps tone.
Beat Correa Marty at the Emirates and it guarantees top two spot finishing. You were first or second.
2-0, 2-0, 3-1 kind of result would be an absolute good one. I mean, listen, don't give me. Yeah.
You're right, mate. Your thing's a bit slow. Your internet.
It is vitally important. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we. What, my internet?
Yeah, you're a bit slow, mate. You're a bit delayed.
Is it caught up now?
No. You're about 2 seconds behind me, mate.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's normally much better than this, the phone. Sorry, guys. She was, I think she's downloading something, mate. You know what I mean? You know what these females are like. We finished first, and you're kind of sitting there thinking, we shouldn't, we shouldn't have finished.
Yeah, and last point from Charles, he's picked for the Inter game. We'll get into that, mate. Jump on and get your comments on that, mate. Rayo, White, Mascara, Norga, always gone really with rotation there. Luis Skelly, Marino, Guarnieri, Eze, Madueke, Martinelli.
It's not far off of mine, Tone.
Yeah, he must. You must have had a chat with him.
Have
before
a look. Have a look at Charles. I mean, I've put Guarnieri in. I put Eze in. I put Madueke in. I actually went for Havertz, Charles.
Malcolm,
exactly.
welcome to the show, buddy. Thank you for yesterday.
Thanks for joining, Malcolm.
Done a great job for us yesterday. Well done, mate. Thank you for that.
Listen, appreciate that. David Moyes, he rocked up at the Emirates, Tone, with his West Ham team and beat us 1-0. He can do it with any team, on his day, he can do that. That's the problem with David Moyes and a good thing for Everton fans. So well done, mate, for yourselves anyway. But you helped us out. But I think for the Everton fans, they prefer it being for themselves. But that's what Moisey does. I like him. I like him as a manager. Tone. Is he gonna like bring up trees? No, but he's gonna do the job that you need him to do.
Job.
He does the job. He's in the right place for it. West Ham didn't appreciate it. They said, we want to go. Look at them now.
Yeah, I think West Ham. I think they. Do you know what they wanted good quality football, but I think one of them things was be careful what you wish for, guys. Because he does a job. I think you find this with clubs where they get to a point where they're on steady ground. They go, right, we want to go to the next level. You're always taking that risk by bringing them. Look at Tottenham with Thomas Frank. I thought when they signed him, I thought, oh, they're going to go up a level with Thomas Frank, and this has gone the opposite direction. I mean, I'll even out for you, R3. All right, mate.
Evening, cheers, Alf.
I'll
Cheers
drop
for
you
joining, boy.
I'll drop you the link in about 10 minutes. You can come and have a give us your
come and have
thoughts,
your
mate.
say about Thomas Frank, mate, and what you think. But no, cheers for joining, Alf. Yeah, that's it. Another one as well, Tone, to be like Charlton. Look where Charlton are. And they dropped Alan Kirbishley because they wanted to go, and they just went down and down and down.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair play and welcome. Thanks for joining, Malcolm. Yeah, we appreciate that, mate.
So Inter Milan, right? They're top of their league. They've got a good home record. They've got some top players. Martinez, Thuram, just to bounce a few off. How do you think it's going to go tomorrow? Do you think it's a because we've done so well? We know we've got 100% record in the Champions League. Do you think Arteta's looking at this game and going, do you know what? If we drop points, it's not the end of the world. There's a big. I hate saying this, bigger fish to fry. I hate saying that because we should be going all in all competitions. But do you think that's a thing going through his mind where he can go, I can rotate for this game, and if we lose, we take the hit because we've got that I can't pronounce their name. We've got them at home. We should beat them comfortably. Yeah. But do you think he's looking at this game going, do you know what? Rotate the squad and we'll go again against United on Sunday. What do you reckon?
It's like Charles said at the start and with the comments and stuff, mate. I think and again, Malcolm, Malcolm said we have to be respectful, Tone. But I also think a lot of players need a rest. You get a couple of high intensity away games. If I'm not mistaken, we've had 3 on the bounce, haven't we? Away games.
Yeah.
And this might be our fourth.
Yeah.
So this is one of them where if you're gonna lose a game, then it's one of them where this will be one you can sort of afford, because in all due respect to Kairat, you could more than likely you can beat them. They'll come there with a point to prove. We've never seen them before, so the underdogs will always have a go. But yeah, this is one of them time where get in, get out, rest the players you have to, get in, come away with no injuries, and roll again on Sunday. Because they are a good side. We know Inter. It's just I just think right now I think you've got a Man United team that are going to be sort of like bouncing, from one game. You know what I mean? They'll come back down to earth, but they're going to be bouncing from that one game, and they're going to come to the Emirates thinking they can put one on us, and we have to have our strongest squad. Yeah, I mean, we can get more into it, Tone. I mean, there's been a lot of discourse about Odegaard and, should Eze be now starting in at 10, as we've also said as well, in terms of you shouldn't be automatically given a free pass in this side when you've got more than capable number 10s on the bench. One that's not even wasn't even a match day squad in the young Ranieri, who's got a point to prove. So yeah, it'd be interesting, mate, what he's going to pick tomorrow. He might have a little bit of sprinkler. I don't know who he's going to play, but I think he's got to rest one of the centre halves, and he has to rotate them centre half. Whoever needs 60 minutes and give the other centre half 30 minutes. If you can go to the San Siro, come away. Sunday's more important, Tone. Unfortunately, we've won 6 straight games in the Champions League. We have to be respectful, but we also have to be respectful of the fatigue that's going to set in, mate.
Yeah, no, very good point. Should we get into starting 11?
Go on, mate. Go for it.
Cool. Yeah, you have rotated, didn't you? Do you know what? I was having a discussion with a few people over the weekend about the old Eze situation, and a lot of them gone, do you know what? Deploy him on the left. Like, if you're going to play him, just play him on the left, because
Tone, I've been saying it, haven't I, mate? I've been saying it for ages.
Because I don't think he's going to play number 10. Odegaard's, he's the captain of the football club. He's not going to drop him. I think we need to accept that. It's frustrating because he has not been good at all. He has not been good at all.
Someone said he's not been good for 12 to 18 months, Tone, and I think you have to agree with that.
Yeah, he's been so inconsistent in terms of form. I think Ranieri done okay against Portsmouth. Look, I know before people say it was Portsmouth, but I think that you're not letting him go out on loan. I think Arteta sort of blocked him going out on loan, saying, "Oh, we want to keep him. We'll use him then. Utilize him." This is the
Yeah,
perfect game to, you know, I think he probably put Eze at a 10, and he'll probably start Martinelli on the left or something. That's what I can see him doing. Um,
yeah,
and they seem to
yeah,
be managing Havertz's game time a lot more now.
yeah.
So I can't see him starting. I reckon he'll go with Yok because I think Arteta's got his thing where you've got to play the guy into form, right? And he's probably going to keep playing him until he hits a bit of form. I wouldn't start him. I'd start Hazy before
Is it
Havertz.
also as well, Tone, and please keep your fault, mate, but that trailer fault, what you're getting at is also as well, it's a different competition and it's European football. Could be different spaces for the guy. Gets a couple of goals or gets one goal at least. It could just give him a bit more,
Yeah,
But yeah, he did get pelters. I think unfairly against Forest. He's clearly again players get fatigued. Tone. He weren't the only one who was poor on Saturday evening, in my opinion. But he just seems to be the guy, the go-to guy. A lot of people and the stuff they've been saying is ridiculous, mate. Let's wait till May. Let's see what happens. Let's see what brings. Let's see when it comes to crunch. It's not quite crunch going to Nottingham Forest. You know what I mean?
Evening, Shuri. Hope you guys tune into the AFCON final. Let me give you a scenario. What if the Arsenal make a UCL final and an Arsenal player tries a stupid panaka and misses? How will you feel? I'd be absolutely pissed.
And I was unfortunate. Sure, I mean, the job that I have, it's I felt I was asleep, mate. I've got 3 kids. I've got a busy life outside of work. So I mean, I fell asleep, unfortunately, my friend. But I've heard all about the Panenka. I've heard all about the fact that obviously Senegal pulled their players off. It seemed to be such a
Weird, wasn't
fast
it?
tone. It was a weird, crazy sort of fight, Afcon final. Um, but yeah, listen, no one in their right mind should do that. I don't know if it's been said. I don't know if it's guilty. I don't know if it's something in his head. But any of our players have the absolute cheek to try
Oh,
Panenka in a final,
Champions
mate.
League
We
final.
shouldn't put the shirt on again. Yeah, I'm with you, mate.
Yeah,
That'd be my
yeah,
opinion. But
shouldn't live
thanks
that
for
down.
joining, Shiri. Thanks for the comment, my
Yeah.
friend.
But yeah, that one's got me. Yeah. Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine? I'd honestly be fuming. Could be anyone. If Declan Rice done it, I think everyone would be like, "You could fuck off back to West Ham doing shit like that." But yeah,
You
no,
don't do it in a final, mate. You don't do that in
no,
a
not in the
final at
final,
all.
mate. Yeah, but yeah, good question. Good to know. But yeah, that Afcon was a bit weird. Bit weird to be fair. I don't think I've seen anything like that in my time watching football. But yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, you've put Mascara in that starting 11. I don't think he's going to go with him, Wayne. I think he's just come back from injury. I'll be
I
shocked if
don't.
he
You
throws.
won't play him
Really.
against it, and
And
the
then
thing is,
there's
we're so threadbare, Tone, as well, and he doesn't trust MLS. And it seems like this is a disrespectful 11. It's just what I was thinking.
yeah,
This is the thing is with this, guys. It's my opinion. It's obviously open to discussion, and of course, it's not what Mikel will do. It's just Sunday is vitally important that we kind of get, as I said earlier, we got to keep
yeah,
our strongest. We've got to make sure they're fully fit, and fresh, fresh enough.
yeah. Hi,
Yeah,
Charles. Yeah, thanks for your messages when we jumped on. There was quite a
yeah.
few.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you.
We caught up with them, but we appreciate them, mate. We
Um,
did put them on there. If you missed our responses, please, and you've just joined or you missed it, just have a look at the front. But we answered them, mate. If we would appreciate the questions. We were just running a little bit late.
so I think this December January period has took a toll on a lot of the Premier League squads. Teams like Man United and their physical fitness will impact the running. Not many big teams have one away, right? So no,
Yeah.
yeah, no, exactly, yeah. I think I read somewhere.
Tone, apparently as well.
Go on.
No, go on, mate. You're more like going to
I
say the
would say
same thing I'm going to.
I
Go on.
think apparently it's been the most nil-nil draws in the Premier League season in history. Apparently,
The thing is as well, I'll add to that. On that weekend, all six relegation or say that people, 6 teams at the bottom of the Premier League. I think what was it? What are they saying? Either didn't lose or something or other it was. But you know, the thing is with it is, the top four didn't win at all in the Premier League, and you have no divine right to go away to a Nottingham Forest and win. People are, well, Man City went there and won. Yeah, but sometimes when we were fatigued, certain factors, come in to play as well, and they don't want to lose. this is people are going, oh, it's the worst Premier League in whatever. Well, that's because Arsenal currently are sitting top of the league. They don't like to see that. But another thing is that teams are improving. You know, you look at it for argument's sake, though, Tone. Look at Wolves, for instance. They come to the Emirates frustrated and almost nick a draw, and then they'll go away to another team, get absolutely thumped. You know, certain teams play certain ways, and they know they can play. You know, against us as well. We've been some of the filthiest low blocks you'll ever see, because we're the team to beat, or sorry, the team to stop winning, if you'd like. You know, and yeah, it's just one of them things. This is a tough league to win. You know, you look at Tottenham, right? And whether obviously the future Thomas Frank will talk to Alf and what he thinks and what his perspective is and whatever. But you look at them, they could be doing poor, but then they could turn over a big team. They could turn over those in the top four, you know. And you know, like City have got to go there. City, you know, you don't know what's going to do. We got to go there. You know, what team's going to turn up? You can't in this league say, and I mean that in all due respect, because they're struggling big style at the moment. Tottenham, they're struggling for an identity under Thomas Frank, and they're struggling for results. Yeah, but any team in this football league, this is why it's one of the best leagues in the world, and you can't argue that, because it's no guarantee that, you know. And I mean, you know, you look at I'm going to say Burnley. You know, what kind of team's going to turn up? Time could Burnley come to the Emirates? Oh, easy win, and then they frustrate the life out of you for 80 minutes, and you get you nick a goal on the backside of Gabby's arse. You know, football is this tougher now, mate. The teams know how to tactically set up now. A lot of them do.
Yeah, Shreve's put a really good comment in there. Odegaard might be on thin ice with Arteta. It's the third game in a row he has been hooked. When the game state isn't balanced, don't be shocked if Eze starts Milan versus United at 10. Yeah, no, I honestly think Eze deserves a chance now to try and get back in that team. We, I don't. Well, I think I would like to see your formation, Wayne, where Wanyeri goes for the middle and he goes on the left. I wouldn't mind seeing that tomorrow. I think because if you look at Inter's, after looking at their formation, sort of, they play a 3-5-2 formation, so it wouldn't hurt having an Eze type player in there that will sit, it will tuck in, sort of thing. Because if they've got three at the back, they're not going to have a lot of wing play. They might have two wing backs, but if we can peg them back and flood out the midfield, that's how we win this game, I think. And what's wrong with putting? This is a game where you could probably potentially put two up front as well, because they've only got three at the back. You could
experiment.
Have two strikers occupying them.
You could experiment as well with. I mean, that's that. I would say then when you wouldn't put Wanyeri in, because I think you'd want a support striker type of role. So it'd obviously be like with Eze box crashing, you know, like he did with Moreno. Yeah. That's why I think you might see a lot. You might do it with Havertz. So someone online as well. Oh, and Sheree, thanks for the comment, mate. You're right. Because listen, that's your captain.
Tell your missus to stop downloading stuff. It's ruining your internet, dude.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
So tell your missus to stop downloading.
Is it gone again? I don't know what's going on. People watching, I apologise. I do not know what is what's going on. Hang on, let me just try something a minute there. Just bear with me, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on today. Everything. I'm just trying to. Yeah.
While you're doing that, Wayne, I'll go through some of the stats that I've been looking at. With Arsenal conceded one goal in the Champions League. That's pretty.
You know what it is? I think it's because I'm using. Pardon me, guys, but I'm using my laptop to stream that before. Let's try this one. Bloody thing, honestly. Sorry, I do apologise, guys. You have to bear with me while I just adjust my thing. I thought I could get away with doing that. Bear with me while I sort something out. But yeah,
he's sorry, guys. He's a teamer. He's a teamer of YouTubers. This guy.
Mate, honestly, well, I don't know why the internet's gone off. I really don't. But sorry about that, guys. Thank you. Yeah, if you stay in tune, thanks for staying on. Do appreciate it. Apologise for that. Cool. Someone said online as well, Tone, and to back up Shuri's comment, the number 10 role, he said, like with is that kind of getting him. He's sitting as he's kind of struggling. It's like punishment in a sense. look, this is what I want you to do. Look it, see what you can do, and then come in, because is Odegaard setting the world alight as a number 10 currently in his team, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, big up to Wayne. Trossard left wing is becoming more redundant, and he is failing perfect thing versus United. Play Ethan number 10 and Eze left wing, or Eze 10. Marino leads up the line. Yeah, he's got to change it. I think he's got no choice now. I think he's gonna have to.
He's got to
I think
change
it's
it,
got a
Tone.
bit stale, isn't it? It's got a bit stale. We can all agree
I
on that.
just think as well, he's listen, you know, we sit here on this channel as Arsenal fans, you know, Odegaard is a good player, right? But if Odegaard is struggling, just because he's got the captaincy armband and he's the top of the list, he shouldn't be automatically guaranteed a starting role. You know, and Eze was brought for a reason of either being a number 10 or being a number 11. So, sorry, guys, a number 11 on the wing, cutting in from the wing, or a number 10. So let's start using him. And also as well, Ethan Wanyeri, you know, this kid, I like this kid, Tone. I like, you know, I think he's got a bright future, and he can be more expansive in that role. You know, so let's, you know, freshen it up a bit. Let's see what we can do. Keep freshening it up, you know, especially in Man United. Catch him off guard. You know,
Yeah.
Odegaard's going to start in the 10 today, and then just swap it up. Because, you know,
If
Carrick's going to be building his team up to you know, and to be with Odegaard a certain way. Just freshen it up a bit. Put a couple of surprises in there, you know.
if Eze plays in the number 10 role tomorrow, as an absolute blinder, right? Does he start against United? Surely he does.
He has to, mate. He has to.
Arteta's always craving for efficiency in the final third. Who are better players to create magic?
Of course they are. Of course they are, Shuri.
Yeah, no,
Both
definitely.
of them. Both of them are, mate.
For me, doesn't deserve to start the next two games. I think because
he shouldn't start tomorrow, and maybe Man United.
Saka,
he needs to drop and know his role's not there, Tone.
I think the fact that he's got the armband, I think he must feel like, oh, I can have a shit game and I'll still be on the team sheet. Whereas I think Arteta needs to make a very, very big point. Start utilising Eze. Eze has done his time now. Eze messed up against Villa away. How long ago was Villa away?
Exactly.
Well before Christmas.
Jasper, welcome. Thanks for the comment.
Hello, mate. Good evening.
And you're right, like Tony's just literally said, and Tony said a couple of minutes back as well. And I think it's wrong in the sense of Arteta to sit there and be rigid in keep continually picking someone who's out of form. If as a manager, and as was pointed out with was it Shuri? Sorry, Tone, was it who was saying about the last 3 occasions he got subbed? Yeah. That tells you something, doesn't it? The manager sees it. Yeah, he's going to go, oh, I'm going to pick him again. In my opinion, guys, I'm not paid what Arteta's paid. I'm not a manager. The only thing I've ever been a manager of is Football Manager. I'm not kidding anyone to say that I am an elite level coach or thinking. But as a fan from an outside, you want to see what these players can do. I thought Eze could have changed that game if he'd started it. That's my opinion. And you know, Madueke was decent, and then he was on because Saka he picked up a niggle tone. Eze could have, in my opinion, an Eze or a Wanyeri could have changed that. That, you know, you just needed something different in that final third. He weren't brave enough, and he's keeping with the same players, and suddenly letting him down. You know.
Sherry, I don't like Odegaard playing in the 10 because he drops deep, leading to Rice more higher up. When the ball is turned over, we look vulnerable on the counter attack. So he ain't helping defensively or in attack. No, I agree. I've been saying this for weeks.
Shuri, Tony, this is it, mate. Shuri, you're right. Declan Rice should be there as the guy who, you know, super Mendy deep, or you know, because what it is with Rice, why he plays him further forward is Rice can engage the press higher up the pitch. But if he's there in that position and Odegaard's dropped, you're right, Shuri, because we don't need Odegaard there. We need Declan Rice to be up and down there. We need Super Mendy control him from deep, and that's why Eze can work. That's why Wanyeri can work. You need Declan Rice to just be patrolling that left side up and down, but he's got the engine to cover, you know.
Jaspende, this is the exact reason he starts Arteta, I feel. He's moving all across the field, unlocks spaces for others. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it.
But
I mean,
the problem that you got, sorry, Wayne, the problem that you got.
No, mate, go for it. Go on, mate.
Rice is he's a deep line playmaking midfielder. The fact that he plays in number 8, that gives him that license to bomb forward, but also him and Zubi should be, when we've got possession on the ball, them two should stay in. They shouldn't be. Odegaard should not be touching that space. He should be standing in the pockets between the two midfielders and our striker, right? Then you've got your
Yeah,
wingers. When he doesn't do that, when he doesn't do that, Gyökeres pays for it. He doesn't get no service, and he's feeding off
yeah,
scraps. You watch
yeah.
when Eze, or I wouldn't say when,
Shuey's just
I
saying
haven't
it.
really
Go on,
seen
finish
it,
your stuff, Tone, but read what
but
Shuey said after you finish, mate.
you watch Eze get a run in this team, number 10, or even on the left wing. You watch how many chances Gyökeres gets. Right. Before Odegaard came back, Zubi, Rice, Eze was forming a good midfield trio. We built up a good chemistry. Gyökeres has come into life. Eze
Yeah.
was bottom. Even Marino against Villa and Bayern. Exactly that.
He,
My point.
Erdegaard
Exactly my.
coming back, in all due respect, and him getting all the time has totally killed that momentum. And he's got to find a role. But we've said it before. Yeah, if Eze drops out of form, he's going to drop. He's going to, every player does. But that is the trio that you should be having. That's going to unlock a lot of stuff. And I keep saying, and Tony, you'll back me up. What do I keep saying? What player do I keep saying is going to unlock Gyökeres?
Eze. I think Eze's the only one that.
If you're gonna sign a player like
Yeah.
Gyökeres, Tone, and then fans are going, "What's he doing? He's shit." Blah 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 blah. He's shit for a reason right now, or he's struggling right now because he needs players near him. He's that kind of player. He needs to feed off of players. He needs, he's not the type of player he's not Erdegaard's type of player. You know what I mean? And
But
he needs a player like Eza.
I've got a question for everyone watching a new Wayne, right? Because it's come back to, like, as it always does. Gyökeres is always going to be in the limelight this season. I feel like he's that guy this season,
They
unfortunately.
they target him
A lot.
because we haven't had a number 9, and
Yeah.
we've just signed a number 9. He's the target, Tone.
Are you losing patience with him? Do you feel like do you think that he's not going to be our guy? Because of what I've been reading, hearing, is a lot of people that actually want your career and now, they like, look, he's doing well for us. He's got a really good record. But when he starts for Arsenal, we've got a really good record. But what people are asking is or saying now is they don't think he's that guy. They don't think he's our guy now. That's gonna score 20 goals, 25 goals a season. They just don't think he's good enough. And it's just not gonna. He's not gonna get any better. So I want to know your thoughts on that, Wayne. And are you getting to that stage where you're sort of going, do you know what? Maybe he isn't our guy.
Sorry, Shuey, yeah, we'll get to that question quickly, mate. I'll quickly ask Tony, and Tony can I'll read that to you. But
Yeah, go on, mate.
it's I'm not. I say, mate, I want to see what happens in May. I want to see what happens in the next couple of months. I personally, and I've literally just said, I think if you're going to use a player, if you want Gyökeres to be your starting number 9, you have to build around him better. And you need different kind of profiles of players around him to help him flourish. Otherwise, he's not. Listen, I've said it before and I say it again. I knew the back of my mind was also, is he, he's never going to be a Haaland level player. He was never going to be an Aguero type player. All this guy is he started at the bottom, yeah, and he's working his way up. Sometimes you got that gamble whether he's going to be that level or be able to hit that level. But this guy started from the bottom. No one knew Gyökeres. Yeah, I knew him from seeing him score goals on watching the Championship highlights on ITV, right? And I see this bloke, number 17 for Coventry, scoring goals. He wasn't a prolific at Coventry, but he was banging. I think last 2 seasons before he went to Sporting, he hit about 40 to 44 goals, 40 to 45 goals he hit, yeah, in the Championship in 2 seasons. I knew that he weren't going to come to the Premier League and bang in anywhere near, 30, 40 goals. I was thinking to myself, it'd be safe to hit 15 to 25 throughout the whole season, especially his first season. This
Yeah,
guy is a late bloomer. So was Ian Wright. I the level. I just think you can judge him, like someone's alluded to. He was getting. You could see that he was getting. He was getting to grips with it. Play the right players around him. If he's got, what is the right combination? Arteta today in his press conference, sorry guys, said it's all about the game state. It's all about and this is where I said as well, Tone. Sometimes against Nottingham Forest, you go, actually, Yock, I don't need you. I still believe that the struggles are that you can have different types of strikers playing in different types of games. Sometimes it's not a game for Yock. Sometimes it might be a game, and even if it's say you got Havertz on, who is your number 9, your focal point, your false 9, and you go, right, he hasn't got a goal 60, 65 minutes. You take a midfielder off, you drop Havertz back, and you put Yock up there. And you put Havertz and Yock up there to see them combine. Eza should be on the left at this point. Eza should be on the pitch to start with, in all fairness. But it's game states. I can't
Yeah.
lose. The long short of it, to try not to go on too often, is that as I say, I will still stick by this guy until May. I believe it will help him having Havertz back. That's my point of view. And again, look at the game. I know he's had a handful of them, but look how he played against Chelsea. All right, he can get that. He can do that more. It's it's just certain games that certain. If this guy, like someone said, what happened in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup? Havertz was playing. Did Havertz get a crucial goal? Whether it was a mistake by the goalkeeper, but who was there to put the ball in the back of the net? It was Gyökeres. I believe he can be a player for that occasion. But he was never going to be top level, Tone, because like Wenger said as well. He said you get the fundamentals early. This guy didn't have the fundamentals early. He's just been growing and growing. And all he's a goal scorer. But for whatever reason, he's lost a yard of pace, in my opinion, from Sporting, and that was only last year. So I will stick by him in the viewpoint that it will help him having Havertz back. And as much as some people may or may not like it, Havertz will start games where Gyökeres will be holding bench and vice versa. But it has to be the game state, and I think that's what Mikel was alluding to today, mate. But
Yeah, no,
do you want me to read this out so you can have your say from reply and Shuey, dude? Yeah.
go on, mate. Go on.
The Sunderland game, that second half, that second half, our midfield wrestle control of the game. All Eze, Subi, Rice dominated Spurs, Bayern, Atletico. Same with the Newcastle game. The game versus Atletico it went boom. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah.
I'll jump to just Pendo put something in. I'll jump to Shreve's point off the back of this as well. Let's be honest. When Odegaard got injured, Eze had prolonged run in the team, and football is a team game. The chemistry and patterns of play were forming. Sorry, but Arteta should have stuck with it. He should have done. He was very quick to put Odegaard back in.
He's very quick to go. Odegaard's in. You hold him bench, Eze. Whether Eze was in the top form or not, Tone.
Do you think the Aston Villa game was like an excuse for Arteta to go, oh, no, I'm dropping him? That's my excuse for dropping out of team and please Odegaard. So I feel like Arteta does have a allegiance with some of these players, and it's like, you got to grow up here and go. You're not playing well. I've got a guy on the bench, 65 million, is more than capable of doing it. We've seen him do it. We bought him for a reason, and I feel like Eze for me. Sorry. I think that he's got. I think he's got really good qualities to be a really top footballer. I think to the point where if we put our trust in him, right, and go one,
he's another late bloomer, Tone. By the way,
he's got enough quality to be one of the world's best, in my opinion.
He got that injury in 2021, and sorry, Tone, just to back you up, but he got an Achilles injury for Crystal Palace. But the last 3 years, he's starting to show his worth. And again, here, Tone, if you discern what Jasper's just said,
just feel the fans overreact on the whole. People are overreacting. The manager and everything. I heard people say we bought an 8-point lead 2 years ago, but it wasn't 8 points. City had games in hand. Yeah, they did.
They did, mate.
It's a completely different scenario.
It's the agenda. It's because it's Arsenal at top of Jasper. It's the agenda.
Yeah, we was 8 points clear just before Christmas, and I think it was in January. We had that January spell where we had them really tough games. That was when we sort of dropped points. But no, it wasn't like we was 8 points clear. You're correct. They had games in hand, City, and I think
I think what it was, Jasper, they had a game in hand that made it 5 points, but everyone just says at one point we were 8 points clear, but we weren't. We wasn't 8 points clear. Everyone played the same amount of games. They had a game in hand over us to make it 5 points. I think that's how it worked out, mate. So you're 100% right.
that year, Wayne, you're not going to see that again. I'm sorry. That Christmas form, Man City picked up form. They
Man City
literally,
just
they lost
won and
one
won and
game.
won and won.
They won. I think they lost one game during that period and drawn one. I think they literally just smashed through the whole of their games up until May, and we literally couldn't keep up with them. We dropped points away at Anfield, away at West Ham. Remember that very clearly. It was just our squad was too young. And the problem we've now got is that we ain't got players who've got experience to get us over the line, and I think that's where the PTSD kicks in. The only player that is in our squad that's won trophies lately is Eza and Declan Rice. If we're looking at it that way.
Well, and another thing as well. I mean, you bring in
Yeah.
someone who's done the only one who's won the Premier League in that squad is Jesus, and
Yeah.
Jesus at the moment's looking like a guy who's sort of his body's kind of shot at
Half
that
for
kind of
himself, isn't he?
top level Premier League. I mean, I'll put Havertz to start. I think at some point, Tone, he's got to start a football match. Do you know what I mean? Whether he's going to surprise people and put Havertz and maybe because as I've said previously, Jesus is a winger forward. He's not an out and out number 9. Never has been. Could you put him on there? Could it mean But he should start. But it may be Jesus tomorrow because someone said as well. Jesus did the preview, the press conference. Sorry, with Arteta. And normally, if you're a player that does the press conference, he's a player that's starting the game. So he will start, but I think I think Havertz has got to start. He's got to start some games, mate, to try and get him up to scratch. But as I say, people are going, Gyökeres is shit. These same people, when Havertz comes on and misses a gilt-edged chance from 6 yards out and blazes the ball over the bar, they'll be saying he's shit. It's just subjective, Tony. This is what these people are like. It's
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is Gyökeres hasn't been in a lot of the places, but has he missed an open goal if he's ever got into it? I know he doesn't get that often space, but he's not missed silly chances, has he?
No.
Do you know what I mean? He's not missed gilt edged chances, and that's he will put the ball in the back of the net. That's the difference. He's just getting him in there in them chances.
Yeah, so just comment out, mate. That period on top defensively, we're conceding shots on target. Bar the Sunderland game, we were creating and scoring at 3, and we had never vowed to score when Eze is starting. Yeah. It's a very good point. I generally think Arteta's just got a loyalty to Saka and Odegaard, but then Saka, I listened to a lot of the callers on Talk Sport after that game, and a lot of them were calling out, why did Saka not start that game? But if I'm being honest with you, when I see the starting 11, I wasn't that worried that Madueke was in there because Saka.
These people as well. Saka apparently had a niggle time.
So yeah,
so I think
I don't think he starts this game. By the way, I think he starts against United definitely because you need him in there. But
if he's had a little kind of niggle, he's sorry, Tony.
My worry is right, man. I think Manchester United play a 4-3-2-1 formation now. Now my worry is if you watch Saka now, guys, let me know if you've seen this. If you watch Saka now, you have the defense, right, and you have one midfielder. What happens is when he gets the ball, the defender goes and engages, and the midfielder stands next to his defender. So when Saka goes to go inside on his left foot, it's blocked off. So he has to go back to Odegaard. And then I don't know if you guys have noticed that every time he does that, he goes on his left foot, and that back post cross that we normally do, it's literally been read. So Arteta's got to come up with a different plan because I feel like that's what Odegaard goes for that every single game down the right hand side, or he crosses it in, and it just doesn't. We got to come up with better tactics. I think we're in sort of games like that against Forest. We were doing it too much. We weren't playing through the channels. But Gyökeres has got. There was one moment where the ball got played through. Gyökeres should have done a bit better, and I think we agree. But Murillo is a very good defender. I think we underestimate how good that guy is. He's in a Forest team that shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be in that Forest team. He'll be gone this summer. He's that good. I think
if they continue with Sean Dyche, Tone, that he shouldn't be anywhere near that team because Sean Dyche is
he's too good for Forest. I'm sorry, any Forest fans that see this channel, but he's too good for Forest.
But he's not going to. It's just facts, Tone. He's not going to get him challenging anywhere higher than 10th or 12th, mate. That's who Sean Dyche is, and Murillo is a quality centre half. We can't underestimate that. So
yes.
And Jasper as well, Tone.
So we'll go for 5. Go on, mate. We'll go for 5 more minutes and we'll get Alf on to discuss Tottenham.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah,
Get some
definitely.
therapy in with on the Gooner booth. I thought I'd say
Yeah.
that. Odegaard is not like his cousin or something. He trusts me because he has been there. What does it well in training? It's not like Odegaard is holding Arteta hostage, as I might not have impressed Arteta. Very good point, and I've actually, very good argument for what we've been saying. Very good debate. One thing I would say to that, Jab, I do understand your point there because it has come out that Ezra's not really doing it in training. That's that's why Arteta's not been playing him. So I do see your
Put the
point
effort
there.
in training, and maybe
But,
because it could be
but
a
Ezra,
good argument.
if then I'll tell you what then, if I'm going to counter argue that, just Pende, come back to me on it. But if I'm countering that, Saka has moments in games where he doesn't do much, right? But he still plays. But then does Madueke do well in training? Does Madueke do a lot behind the scenes? Does he work hard? Do you know what I mean? So what I think Arteta does have his favourites. One thing I would say
It's
that, and I think
dispersing
Odegaard
that
is one.
exactly. This is his problem, Bones. He needs to kind of get off that, and sure, he's again put onto it. It's Eza
Arteta
and
loves
Ethan can play that
I
role.
mean,
You know?
Arteta loves Odegaard, and feel it's a matter of when and not if actually bench. No offense, Odegaard's role in the team is becoming redundant, and we have Eze and Ethan who can play that role. And I'll tell you one thing about Eze and Ethan, they won't go in. They won't go into the back line to get the ball. They will stay in that area of attack, and it allows the space to open up for Rice and Zubimendi to play our football.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest were allowed to press us so high on Saturday because Odegaard dropped in deep. Whereas if you're giving them an out, there was no outlet. So there was a few times when Timber had the ball, Ben White had the ball, and all they was doing was going wide. It was going back. It was going wide. It was going back because there was no one in that number 10 position that could come and make the space for us to go forward. The wingers used the number 10. Like if you look at a good number 10, they go from left to right. Eza actually does it. He'll play off of both wingers. He'll play off the striker. Odegaard's a ball playing midfielder. He has to have the ball to his feet, whether he'll go and get that but he doesn't stay up high enough. In games against who likes Nottingham Forest, who we know we're going to play low block, right? He's got to stay in his role. He's got to stay in that number 10 position.
Yeah. Listen, something here, Tone, as well, what Jazz was saying. I get what you're saying, Jazz, but I think what it is, I think Ozil and Eza, they are different types of players. If you mean by in sort of like a luxury, I get that. I just think Eza's more of a moments player. He can a 1 minute bang, link up. He's a better ball striker than Ozil ever was. Ozil was a bullet, was in his pomp, a world-class playmaker who saw everyone. He would see Gyökeres's runs, big stuff. You had Ozil on his team, and Arteta trusted him because you're right. Because Ozil was there, he just didn't fit in. A lot of players didn't really. The approach now and what Arteta does. There is a way, and maybe this section out is two. It's like, can I be two things that someone said? He said he's played a lot of games before Christmas. Could be trying to keep him. He's, in my opinion, a player that you should be using to the end of this is where Eza explodes. He exploded for Crystal Palace and he starts to pick up form come the back end of the season. Could this be Arteta going, if you want to be in my team, you've got to work a lot harder than being that, luxury player. I need you to work as well as doing your stuff that you're going to do. Maybe it's an adjustment period for him. You're never too old to learn. You're never too old to learn on a football pitch.
So should we put if let's say PSG or Bayern slap a 70 million bid for your Odegaard in the summer, will you keep or will you sell? Personally, let him lift the trophy on a high, shake his hand and wish him the best. Do you know what?
If it's that price, if it's that
hard, yeah. But I don't think you can turn that down.
You wouldn't turn 70 million down for him. You couldn't.
I think in a Barcelona side or Bayern side, I think he would do really well. I really do. I don't think Arteta's system allows for him to be that free, and I think because he's so rigid now in his play that he's one of them players that has to be on the ball, right? But I don't think the system Arteta plays allows for him to to progress in that role, if that makes any sense. I think that he's. I don't know. He's so Arteta's so robotic of his tactics, isn't he? To like the point where you got freedom players out there, like your Ezers, your Trossard, your Martinelli. I feel like they're so overly coached to the point where we're making them crap. I don't know if that's fair, but if Arteta wins us a trophy or two trophies, we're not going to care about that. But at what point does this start getting stale? That'd be my question.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it could be a case of it could be a case where that he'll just he'll unleash Eza,
So I've got.
Shuri, it grinds the Gooner Booth's gears. We've said it. I know we've had a few. Listen, I mean, this is a channel that we started at the start of the season, and we done a few preview, and then we loaded up. We started off. We were new. We were, we had different ways, different approaches. We didn't have a lot of viewers, and we weren't doing it live constantly, so you guys could talk to us. That is what we were saying. He does this scoop pass and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you scooping it into the box when we have no one to win the header? No one to,
mate. I think it's a cop out. When he does it when we're under pressure. It's like a little bit of a get out clause. Like, I'm going to scoop this.
Yeah. Jasper, you're right. Listen, he did. Listen, this is what I've alluded to this. The 22-23 version of Ødegaard was the best version of Ødegaard. He's now made him a controlled a press setter, and this is why he puts him on, because you've got to realise that what Arteta wants is control in the game. So what he'll get Ødegaard will be his man. That's why he starts every game, because Arteta's going, I need to control the press. We controlled it in the first half. I missed a bit of it, but I was told that obviously he wants control. That's what he's looking for.
Oh. We've got a City fan on. Welcome, mate. How are you? Thank you for joining the Gooner Booth. I know you're happy for City lose, but Inter will take much more powers and stamina from Arsenal than Bud Glimp from Man City, especially after that. United will make you drop points. No, do you know what? There's no foregone conclusion with this title. It's still very much to play for, and we've got to be very careful.
I think that's where the frustration stems from, doesn't it, Tone? And as I say, City dropped points, and we haven't kind of capitalised on it when they get. But again, it's going to be tough. And you're right. This is why we want to rest it. It's Champions League's important one.
Joe, my biggest worry, and we'll get into the Man United preview later on this week, right? But my biggest worry of United is they've not got no Champions League football. They've got no cup games now.
They've got a week of rest, and he can train them, can't he?
They're going to be absolutely buzzing for this game, and Arteta's got to manage our squad this week very carefully. We're going to play a tough Inter Milan side, right? Who he's right there, are literally going to be up for it. They're going to press us high. It's been one of them games where you're playing against top players. Like Martinez isn't no joke. He's a very good striker. Thuram is one of the best rated strikers in Europe right now, or attacking players.
We were looking at him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's a big European football game at the San Siro. That's a fortress of a ground to go to. Right, it's not going to be an easy tie, and Arteta won't take it lightly. I know he won't, because he's not made that way. But what I don't want is he goes full strength tomorrow, and then we go away. Then we've got Emirates. We've got United come to the Emirates, right? They're going to be up for that. They've just beaten City. Well, I mean, they've comfortably beaten City. And we're gonna, if we're dead on our feet on Sunday, that's going to be a struggle.
Big style, mate. Yeah.
Penner, to be fair, I see Villa more of a threat. City have terrible fullbacks, two main centre backs out. They are 4 competitions. Mark Gay can't play everywhere until he multiplies by 4. Yeah, no, look, I think he's going to give them a boost, though, mate. I really do. I think the last push, Gay come in. Is Luis Diaz out for the whole season?
No, Diaz is out for another about 5 weeks.
So when he comes back, him and they slot back. Hey, dude, you have a choice: rest main players and drop points in UCL against Inter, or keep player and drop points against Manchester United, like you drop at Forest. No, Joe, I think we're going to rest
we sacrificed.
tomorrow.
that
I want us
Chelsea,
to.
we need
I
to
think we can.
do that, Tone.
We've got 100% record in the Champions League, and I think that we can afford to. I'm not saying throw the game. No, like no game should be thrown, but I think he can. We've got a good enough squad for him to rest some of our big players for this game, and
Yeah.
maybe give them half an hour, maybe, and then then get us fresh for the United game. You've got Eza. Literally, he's hardly played any football in the last sort of 6 weeks. When
Yeah.
Yeri's ready to go, you've got Havertz. Just give him 60 minutes as well. Jesus.
It's defensively as well, isn't it? Really, I mean, look, Subamendi or Rice, either one of them, I don't think should be starting this game. Or at least if you're going to start one,
Start
you might
Zubi.
start Subamendi.
Put Zubi and Norgard in there, but he won't.
Yeah,
He'll probably
like
put Norgard at
I
the
put in
back.
my 11, I think that's the best one to do it, Tone. Otherwise, you're going to allow an energised Man United team who've had a longer rest than you. You're going to allow them to come at us, and they can frustrate. If they start frustrating or they get a goal, that could be the worst thing to do at the Emirates when the crowd start getting annoyed, and they start, it starts going up in the air. The atmosphere starts to drop. It's the worst thing you can do. He's got to rotate well. This is important, an important week.
He's joining, mate. Sure, he's coming. He's coming. Where is Alfie? I need a 4K Yeah, I think Alfie will need a bit of therapy, boys. It must be.
Take it easy though, because he's my nephew. He's a good lad, but he's
it's all right.
more like
We're all
struggling at the
friends here.
moment
We're all
with
friends
what
here.
to do
Right.
with Thomas Frank. But obviously,
Well, Alfie can hold
questions
his own.
coming.
Don't worry about Alfie. He can hold his own. Saka, Odegaard, Gyökeres, Trossard, Zubi will not start for sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Even more than Rice.
They're just tired, Jasper.
Yeah,
keep the midfield. Keep the midfield. Rest the midfield up.
Do you think we should have got another centre midfielder? Do you think I think Marino? Actually, we're forgetting about Marino. I know he'll probably start, but do we need another ball plan midfielder that can come in and do a job in both them roles? Is Norgard our guy to do that? Can he do that?
That's the thing. I think he's just Norgard's been signed, in my opinion, Tone, as the kind of the rest piece for Subi at times, it's one of them. I might have to move over and put my phone on charge, Tone, because it's.
Go for it. Alpha's just joined. How are you, Alf, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good. Just trying to sort my thing out.
Yeah, sort the thing out, mate. Sorry, guys. Do bear with me today. It's been a busy afternoon. A busy
evening of technical issues.
Technical difficulties, but I'll keep it as professional as I can. I just need to get the charger on, so I don't.
Before we get into Alf to close the show up with how he's feeling about Tottenham, what's your predictions for tomorrow, guys? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah. So this is 1-1.
1-1.
Keep it tight.
I've had that score in my head. I'm going to go 1-1 or 0-0. I just think it's going to be the last time we played Inter. They got a cheeky penalty, didn't they? That wasn't for me, weren't a penalty, but we held them, Tone. Won by a penalty, so
we'll close it off. And again, guys, we'll use this part of the sort of the back end of the show to introduce my nephew Alfie, Tottenham fan, get his perspective on something we were talking about.
Go on, mate. Before he goes, I'll read this comment. Sharif got a comment to you, Alf. I don't need to ask Alf what is wrong because they actually have decent players and so many young gems. They are actually a top 4 quality team. So, Alf, go on, mate. Bit of therapy. How you feeling?
I mean, like you said before I joined. I mean, when we kind of appointed Thomas Frank, I was quite confident because I know he went at Brentford or was at Brentford for ages, who are obviously kind of no harsh to them, but they're used to being kind of mid-table standards. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, this season they're doing very well. Granted to them, they are. But when we signed Thomas Frank, straight away I thought it was a challenge because it's a lot different to Brentford. I think we started the season very well as well, which kind of raised a load of confidence from all Tottenham fans that he was going to do well. I don't even know what's happened. It's just gone fully downhill. All the fans are against him. You hear it every game, half-time, full-time, booing, chanting during the game, to basically you're getting sacked in the morning and everything. Which some stages I do feel bad for him, but then at the same you can't feel bad because of what he's done. He hasn't done anything. knocked out of both domestic cups. Let's be real. The Premier League is finished. We've got kind of no chance. I would say we've got no chance for top 4 anymore. It's
Question
done,
for you, mate. Jas Pendo's put a question in for you. For the Tottenham van, do you really need Conor Gallagher? I thought you needed a ball progressor who can move the ball up from the 8 to 6 position. Very good question.
This is what I've been saying to a load of people that's asked me kind of the same question. Conor Gallagher is the exact same player as the Pape Sarr, the Paulinho that we've already got.
Yep.
And when kind of the January window came, I thought, okay, right, look at our attack, right? The amount of injuries we've got out still, who haven't recovered. I know Solanke's came back. Richarlison's now gone out because he's got a hamstring injury. We need to kind of get a left mid because that when Son left, that's never been replaced since. Which,
No.
I mean, it's hard to replace that type of player, but at least get some decent talent in to kind of spark the attack again. But
yeah,
I think that Xavi Simons has sort of let you down a bit. I think he come in as a higher profile player, didn't he, as a midfielder?
Yeah.
And he's just not lived up to the price tag or the reputation that he brought to Tottenham.
No, I mean, there's so much like controversy with like players that have never played in the Premier when they come. Like I know, like Victor Gyökeres for a sake. A big price tag on him, which was a reasonable price tag. I mean, he was absolutely firing at Sporting. There's no doubt about it, right? But then again, some people could argue, okay, look, Gyökeres hasn't been good. Some people could say, look, Gyökeres has been good. The same with Xavi Simons. Like I've seen some fans say, like, okay, he's had a decent start, which I don't think he has, because
yes,
if we're going back to the Dele Allis, the Ericssons, and all that, he definitely don't live up to it. Or even when James Maddison was fit under Ange, it is surprising for what we paid for him. I know he's a young talent and he was sparking in the Bundesliga, but I don't know. He's just crazy.
What would on your personal view, Alf? I mean, because obviously we ain't seen each other for a while, my friend. But you ain't spoke to your uncle about it. What I know, it's a lot has changed since we last spoke. What is it? I mean, I know you obviously we know with your dad and your friends and yourself. What is your feeling, Alf? What would you say? Would you be bothered if he was sacked tonight and you changed? You had to find another manager mid-season, or would you stick with Frank?
I would not stick with him at all. I think if you'd asked me that question, I mean, you could ask anyone that question like first 10 games into the season, because normally that's every single club does normally kind of have a good start in that kind of period of the Prem, first 10 games.
Yeah.
But it's just got to a point where if we look at the West Ham game, right, 1-0 down early, straight away, fans are on his back, right? Which there's one point which some fans could say, right, what do you expect him to do when he's got every single 60,000 people on his back?
Yeah.
Moaning at him, burning at him, saying you're getting sacked and all that. But then the other half could be thinking, well, surely this has got to be kind of on purpose, or he's just given up or something like that. But I mean, I would not be annoyed if he got sacked tomorrow. I think we need a reset.
That's fair, mate. Yeah.
Like, since I read a couple articles the other day, he's got the worst win rate at home out of any managers we've had in our entire club, and frankly, I know, and won us a trophy, whatnot, but he's had a worse start to a season than Postecoglou did. And
God, that takes some doing, doesn't it?
Well, second season we finished 17th. Do you know what I mean? I know we won the trophy, which kind of saved a bit of our season, but it didn't really, because if you think about it, if the bottom three weren't that bad that season, we could have got relegated. So, I mean,
that's it, boy. Yeah.
Everyone's saying.
Yeah.
Jas Pendo's put a fault in here, mate. Xavi Simons, I feel, was a precious signing. Spurs got rejected by Gibbs White, then Arsenal took Eze. So they reacted instead of really thinking if is he good or not. Very good point.
Yeah.
I
think Alf. I just think he's got the talent, but the boy in the Premier League, it's a different level. It's a different level altogether. and he can get the best players and make them look average. It's just one of them leagues. Gyökeres, like I said earlier, Alf, and I'm sure you was watching, boy. I said to Tone, I think he's lost that yard of pace at the top level of like Premier League. Like he was going. You look at his goals at Sporting, and you look at him now. That again, Murillo is no slouch, but he would have had that, and in Sporting he would have been gone. He would have put that ball past the keeper, and there wouldn't be Arsenal fans going, "He's crap, he's shit, he's got to go, he's not." It's a different league, Alf. It's a different level. It's a different level. So it's a struggle when you're signing someone like that. It's another question there from Shuri, mate.
Yeah, go on with that. My issue with Tottenham is that midfield stinks on the ball, and go and sign Walton, Ayeri, Simmons, and has been disappointing. But Alderbert is actually a decent left winger. Matthews Tower is underrated. Yeah, Alderbert is actually quite underrated, I think, for Tottenham. He's actually a really good little player.
But this is the thing, like we go to the non-well leagues. We picked up Bergval when he first came to Spurs. Everyone was like, holy, like basically, wow, what a talent. In the Thomas Frank side, he hasn't been given anything unless we've had an injury in the midfield. Then he's been kind of, you're playing. And exactly the same point here. I've said it. I've literally. I know I keep on bringing them up, but my mates literally every single day are moaning about Tottenham because Matisse Tell has been dropped out of our Champions League now just because Solanke's back.
He's not in your squad, is he?
Yeah, and it's like, how can you do that when arguably him and Odobert have been? I know you can't really call it, but they've been one, if not our best players. There's no one else there. Yes, Van de Ven has saved us from conceding more goals, or he scored a lot of goals. Romero's done the same, but I've said it from the start of when we had this downgrade phase. The only reason that this has happened is because Spurs do not spend money. We've seen Arsenal just, okay, here you go, West Ham, take 100 mil, we'll take Declan Rice. Arsenal, the Arsenal board have backed Mikel Arteta, basically given that team that he needed. And now look what's happened after, from the start when he first came, that 2020 lockdown era was shocking. Now look what's happened because he's been given the money. Why can Tottenham not do the same? The worst thing is we don't spend our money wisely either. 60 mil on Solanke, 60 mil on Richarlison. Yeah. It's just it's crazy because then we'll sell the players for 35 mil. We bought Johnson for 45 mil. I think we sold him to Palace for what, 30 million? We're just losing out on profit.
On that, Alf, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Question here, boys. Jaspende, all these boys that come from Spain are different midfielders. Odegaard, Simmons, Paz would all do well in Spain, but where it's about football, Premier League is just about physicality and less football. It is, it's true.
Tone, like you said,
Odegaard getting through off the ball against Forest. He was
Odegaard for, like Tony said earlier. Odegaard, Xavi Simmons, Alf, in a Spanish league would look world class. They look absolutely world class, mate. It's a different level in the Premier League. Less football now. You're right, and it's more about physicality, standing up, being able to, That's why people have been taking the mick out of us, but we've been getting goals and set pieces because at times you're not allowed to play your football. So you got to do, because you're in dirty low blocks. So you got to nick a set piece goal. You've got to adapt because that's what the football's become. But in Spain, it's all about technical. It's all football. These midfielders would thrive, definitely.
Yeah, I've got a few comments here to get through. My biggest issue with Frank,
go for it. Read it for Alf.
Was he was good at developing players for me, so I expected the likes of Odobert, Tell, and Birdville alongside with Gray. They need a new left back like Troffart. Who's that?
Troffart. Yeah, I know the one. Yeah. I agree, Shuri. Yeah, definitely. Go on, Alf. Go on, mate.
Man, go on. Do you want to answer that one? Go on. Respond to that one first, Alf, and I'll crack on with you.
We have signed a new left back. He's come from Santos, 19 years old, Sosa. We signed him kind of early days into January, but it's become
fair enough.
It's become an issue where he hasn't been announced yet. It's almost like there's something going on behind the scenes, which I don't know what's going on.
Ain't work permit, Alf, is it?
I don't know. I heard rumours that there was family issues, there was travelling issues, there was contract issues, there was medical. I don't even know. It's just, but I feel like the young players, Thomas Frank at Brentford, the amount of young players that he's developed and kind of left behind, you know, I know in Mbeumo and Wissa got developed under him. You know, they've
Yeah.
now look at Mbeumo and Wissa, you know, they've gone to big clubs, you know, they're doing well now. But I just feel like we need to this January window needs to be a big signing. Like get a new striker in, send Colin Wani back. You know, get a left winger and, you know, go for Kareem Adeyemi, go for someone young who's talented, or even stick to the Prem and find a young talent like Iliman Ndiaye at Everton. Stick to what we know.
Yeah, great player, Alf. Yeah, he's coming up, ain't he, that boy?
Comment from our City fan that's joined us this evening. Manchester City have Mark Gay on the bench. Rest until game against Wolves will be starts. 1 in 16 UCL finals. Mark Gay will be available to Manchester to use him in the UCL games. Yeah, I think he's going to give you guys a boost. But I think that hopefully we can start picking up a bit of form. Also, Tottenham need to bin Vicario. That guy is an absolute liability. Sorry, Alf. Kinksky needs a run in the team.
Listen, you don't have to apologise. Sorry, you know, Alfie will agree with you, mate. It's not no need for an apology. He'll agree with you.
And Trees put another comment in there. Tottenham have a recruitment issue. They were about to spank 70 million on Savinho. Why did they overpay for mid-quality Richarlison and Solanke? If they had the money, go buy the best.
Hey guys, said it.
Yeah, I mean that's that. I think that's the. I'm going to move over back here, guys, just to make sure I've got enough sort of quality charge. But yeah, that's it, Alf, isn't it, mate? You know, it's that the quality of the player. You know, the players that you sign. You know, the money. You know.
Jas Pendes, the players will not develop because there is no club philosophy. You had Conte, who was defensive, and who was ultra attacking, and Frank, who is defensive. How will they learn?
Here's the point, because I was waiting for a question like this. Because I know when we had Conte, we was very defensive. He was a very defensive-based manager. And I mean, ultra attacking, it proved it. We conceded loads of goals, but we scored a load of goals as well. Frank is defensive in some parts. I mean, he's definitely. I mean, 100%. He's not attacking. He's 100. He is mainly defensive because we've seen it first few games. You know, we got clean sheets. We had. You know, at the start of the season, we was up there with Arsenal best defensive record. You know what I mean? So the only manager, that I would trust fully and put my trust in again is Mauricio Pochettino, because it's proved it with. You know, I know I'm going back 10 years, 9 years, but you look at the 16, 17, 18, 19, all the way through, where it was that good period. You know, we're doing the exact same that Arsenal are doing now. 3 years in a row, finished second, Champions League final, and then it just started to go downhill, and then he got sacked. But them 3 years, you can't. It's like Arsenal now. Arsenal are very good defensively. They've got a great back line, and then they're also good up front. They're also good in attack. So and there's rumours as well that after the World Cup, you know, when, you know, because obviously Poch is managing USA for the World Cup, there's rumours that Tottenham are keen to basically try and get him back, which every single Tottenham fan have basically just gone mad about it. So that's kind of the thing.
Before you get into that, mate, I'll read this out from Shree. They're flying in the questions. Thank you, guys. I remember watching Tottenham. They are a club that play exciting football. They need a progressive manager. If you entertain them, they are happy, and they actually have decent players to play good ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Alf, again, I'd go back to everyone trying to change. I say West Ham going, no, you know, we're boring. You know, under Moyes, we're going nowhere. You know, the same thing happened to Pochettino, and I think that, in my opinion, I think if their rumours persisted, it would have been down to Daniel Levy, or Levy, however you want to pronounce his surname, where he wasn't giving Pochettino the funds to really kick on. I mean, the way he played, we were crap at the time. We were struggling under Wenger, and Tottenham had Kane, they had Son, they were battering, they could batter. You know, we were losing for you guys for quite often every season, which was frustrating. But you guys had the players. I think Levy, something happened in the breakdown, because how do you sack a manager after he got you to the Champions League final and you sack him the next season? Pochettino's been Tottenham's best manager of the last how many years, you know, and they shouldn't have got rid of him in the first place. But I think that was down to Levy, mate. He was arrogant. He was an arrogant bloke, and he's gone now. So it could be a different thing for you guys if you go back in for him, mate.
Oh yeah, a comment from our City fella. I know Arteta's mentality. He will use many main players against Inter, and after Inter, many main players Arsenal will be so tired. Manchester United will use it to their advantage. I hope you're wrong. I really do, but Arteta is stubborn.
I hope you're wrong, but I think he will, Tone, and I think you're right there, mate. He's very stubborn in that sense, and he doesn't need to.
Get Xavi Alonso.
You know what? Though, this is a good shout. This is a very good shout. Very good shout. Whether he'd come, but if they go, look, he's left Real Madrid. He's a great tactical coach. Look what he did. First season, Bayer Leverkusen, unbeaten. Could be a good shout out, Alf.
Season.
No,
yeah, Michael Carrick.
Don't even get me started. All I'm seeing from Man United fans, as soon as I go on calls, go online. Oh, I had a dream last night. Man United went 16 games unbeaten and we won the league. Oh, we're gonna go and beat Arsenal now. It's like you've got too ahead of yourself. It's like slow down a bit.
That's United.
Mate, honest to God.
Listen,
mate, that's the problem with them.
Yeah, lad, do you remember how Tottenham away at White Lane was a proper game? Leeds men used to have us quaking in our boots, and nowadays they are so easy to beat. Like, do you know what? I'm sure Alf won't mind me saying the last North London derby, we wasn't worried in our preview. I think we was quite comfortable with knowing. I mean, Thomas Frank threw a surprise at us, but probably a negative one. He stuck 5 at the back and just invited pressure onto him. But yeah, the games at White Lane, I used to have no nails come the end of the game because Harry Kane would get the ball. He'd always score against us. But yeah,
listen. I still, you know what? As much as it's that's right, Tone. I still hate the Arsenal Tottenham game. It's one of the fixtures I really hate every season. But yeah, you're right, and I think as well, Alf. It all boils down to the identity, and that starts from the top. That starts from what the club are building. And obviously, you've had it with Levy. You weren't putting the money in. You have to now. It needs to be in terms of the whole, the whole structure, the whole what kind of players are you playing, buying. Sorry, Matis Tell is a good step in the right direction. Bergvall, like you said, Alf. Sometimes it could be the manager that you need to unlock them, but you need to stick with these kind of players and maybe just reset it again. Players like Richarlison, I'm sorry, I don't think he's going to be that. He's not at the level. You need to start from scratch a bit more. And get that different manager who can build these youngsters in, build your team from there, And that's what I think, and that's my opinion there. Shuri, I'll read this.
Go on, mate.
What is that one?
Go on.
I feel most of their players don't play for the badge. They need to gut the squad by half and buy players who die for the badge. We bought players that wanted to play, and I think that's what it is, Alf. You need them kind of players, you know what I mean?
Stop buying your internet from Timo, Wayne. Jesus Christ.
My internet again? Oh, mate, honestly. Well,
I'll reread that. I think it will cut. Sorry, well, I feel most of their players don't play for the badge. They need to gut that squad and buy half and buy players who die for the badge. Yeah, I mean, look at Arsenal, right? Declan Rice, he plays for the badge. A lot of them players play for that badge now. Gabriel, he's literally a tackle. He'll roar into the crowd. Passion is there. Timber, even Calafiori. There's that squad. There's togetherness in that squad, and they play for each other. And I see that disconnect with Tottenham. Van der Ven is a really good example of that. Whenever you guys, lose a game, and you see him walking off the pitch, his body language is worrying.
Yeah.
If you agree with that, Alf.
Yeah.
So the comments are flying in, guys. We'll do 5 more minutes, then we'll have to shut down. Been on for an hour and 18 minutes. Bloody hell, it goes quick, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. Arsenal always play for their own lives at UCL games, but in Premier League they are much worse playing than in UCL. I'm not sure I'd agree with that, mate. I think that we've had a bad run of Premier League games, but we've only lost 2 this season. Just bear that in mind. I think City have lost a lot more than us, and I think we've got a consistency at the back. We might not have scored, but I think you'll find that we don't concede easy. So, but yeah, no, I'll take your point. Cherie, Romero as captain sums him up. That brother is a liability, and having him as captain, I'm sorry. What's your thoughts on that, Alf? Do you think he's a good captain? Is there anyone else that could be captain? That's probably the question I probably should ask.
he's a liability, and he's also not. The only reason I'd say he's a liability is because of his rashness. He's back. You know, I could put a bet on it that he would get a yellow card in the next game, and he would, or he'd get a red card. He's just so predictable now. Everyone's kind of got used to, you know, when you look up, you haven't watched the game for ages, you look up and you see Romero yellow card, you just kind of go, do you know what I mean? Kind of, well. But I think, like you said with Arsenal, I think if a captain is someone that needs to lead their team and kind of show passion and kind of basically die for the badge, do you know what I mean? So I think if there's one man that I would want captain, it would be Van der Ven, because he feels in our squad now, he's the only one that feels like he actually gives to. Yeah. Like, you know, when he makes a tackle, he stands up and kind of, you know, screams a bit, gives it. Anyone else that makes a tackle just runs back to their position, getting ready to start again. So
Jas Pender's put a very good point. Glasner's also leaving at the end of the season. He could fit Spurs. I think he's going United, if I'm being honest. I think United have got him already locked in for that job.
He could be, yeah.
Good shout.
There's a reason he's got. There's a reason why he's telling them he's going to Jasper.
He's been
someone's,
definitely.
yeah.
Even Liverpool
in the
United.
summertime. Yeah,
Liverpool United.
Yeah, exactly. Big style. Yeah.
And Slop's going to Tottenham.
Would
you take Slop at Tottenham, Alf?
Yeah, Jasper. That's what I was going to say to Alf. I was going to say to Alf with Romero. It's that South, in all due respect to him, South American kind of thing, and he's Argentinian, isn't he? So they have that kind of thing in them where they're liable to get a booking. You're right, mate. Yeah, you know. But listen, as you say, it's that, like Tony said to you, Alf. It's that sort of them players that you need. We had, you look at Gabriel, right, and Tony will tell you. I was asking when we had Pablo Mari. I was saying, I think Pablo Mari's got to start this time because Gabriel's having a mare. Now, Arsenal fans who are watching, I don't know if you remember Pablo Mari, Alf, but we were going, you know, Gabby started out, and now the levels that he's gone up, you know what I mean? That's the kind of leader you kind of need at the back consistently, you know, to go up, you know, you plucking these players like a Saliba, plucking these players out, you know, and that's I think what it is, you know, they love to play. It's about, if they're keeping a clean sheet, they're fist bumping, they're body bumping, they're, you know, passion leads to, you know, and togetherness is what is missing at the moment. And I think it's just this constant swap changing. And it comes from above, in my opinion, Alf. And I think that's unless Tottenham have to sort that out.
A few people are arguing that Romero's or Jas Pender's sort of gone against Shreve's comment there. He reckons he's not a liability. But obviously everyone's got their opinion. You know, it's bad for Alfie when Romero is their most progressive player on the ball. Like, he is the only one who can thread the ball between the lines. Yeah, you can't. And the Ven's been their bloody defender, midfielder, and striker this season, I think. Cool. Our Manchester City fans back again. Man City saved Mark Gay from Liverpool's claws, and now he will be one of the main dark horses players in the UCL and at Manchester City. I mean, he's not Messi, mate. But I can see your point. He'll improve you at the back.
He'll improve you. He'll improve you to get top 4, definitely. So.
Hear me out. Curtis Jones would change Tottenham's lives. Thoughts on that, Alf?
I mean, if he was a regular start for Liverpool and he was up there, like people were talking about him quite a lot. We're kind of, oh, look at Curtis Jones, he's unbelievable. But he sat on the bench most of the time for Liverpool. Would I really want to go and say, listen, like, would I really want the Tottenham board to say, like, listen here you go, 35, 40 mil yet again.
Yeah.
Spent on a Curtis Jones who's just sat on the bench for Liverpool? No.
I'll give you a good comparison to that. Harvey Elliott went to Aston Villa. What's he done? He ain't done much, has he really?
Harvey Elliott for the under-21s looked like a world beater, and he's gone to Villa and he's just not worked out for him. It's just one of them things, isn't it?
Comment here from Jasper. They look at Enzo, look at the shin kicker Casado. Look at Gabriel in the initial years.
Gabriel, all rash. Gabriel was very rash.
We forget how rash Gabriel was when we first signed him. He was a few, like how many silly tackles did he put in, and how it was the most clumsiest defender that we probably had for years.
He made mistakes. He made it. it wasn't a good time, but they are. It is. It is.
So, yeah,
They are.
definitely
It's one of them.
it's a South
Just the
American thing,
rashness of it. Sometimes it can work in their favour, can't it? Really. There you go. Yeah. Cheers, man. Yeah, it runs in the family, Shuri.
Alfie's in the chat. Get him on the pod. Yeah, no, Alfie's a regular. He comes on. There is a new pod that I'm trying to set up. It's called Everything Football Guys. So we're going to try and get a few different supporters on, have a general chat. So look out for that in the coming weeks.
Yeah, come join the chat, and obviously supporters like Alf can answer the questions as well, guys. Yeah, definitely.
This City fan still at it. Liverpool and Arsenal really screwed up not getting the English national team elite player before. Got Declan Rice, mate. Declan Rice, he's the elite national team, isn't he? I think we'll call it there, lads. We've been on for a while. Look, some good news, guys, in the chat. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our first watch along. So you asked, we provided. So please join us for that. Kick off at 8 o'clock.
I'll get a better internet connection as well, guys. Don't worry.
It's what I'll kick him off if his internet's bad.
Don't forget, I'll have the internet on here watching Amazon as well. So I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah.
Cool, but join us tomorrow, guys. We'll probably go on for about 10 to 8. We'll go through the lineup and then watch the game with us. Come and join us. It's on Amazon Prime if you've got that. I really do like Amazon Prime football. I think they should get a lot more games. I think
I think they should as well.
Yeah, I do like it on that platform. So hopefully in the future. But yeah, come and join us tomorrow, guys. Watch along. You know what? With Alfie, every time something cannot go any lower, they even sink lower. They can't sink any lower. Basically, I think that's what he's saying there, mate. Yeah. Great. Would be fun to see how calm. I'm not going to be calm if that happens, mate.
We're not. But I might.
We'll do our best to stay calm.
You guys watching, but please come and join us. We are known for joining with the comments, mate.
We've got a reputation, mate, that we're the calm podcast, but I think maybe doing the watching is going to change that. I think.
Yeah. Have you got a swear machine on it, Tone?
What, the bleep? Oh god, I've bleeped in there. Yeah. I apologise in advance for the swearing, guys. But it should be a good one definitely. To get going on. When I got dropped.
Yes, exactly.
You'll be hearing about. You'll be hearing about it live, guys.
Me and Tony. We'll chat together and we'll moan about it. But yeah, just in closing, Al, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. And talking Tottenham, guys. Thanks for commenting in. We've had an Everton fan in. We've had a City fan in. But guys, regulars as well. Come join us tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We do really appreciate it.
Hang on, mate. Super Domino, thank you for joining. You're new. Just joined.
Yeah, thanks, matey. Sorry for the late one. Go on, Tony.
1-1, mate. We went. We've both gone
1-1.
But
Super Domino doesn't use all the first teamers.
Join us for the watch along tomorrow. We'll get into it 21-0. Bloody hell.
Is that to Inter or to us?
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope not a Jazza. I hope it's not 21-0 to Inter. But yeah, no, thanks for joining, Alf. It's been a pleasure. And all the commenters, please come join us tomorrow night. And
we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Have a good evening.
Cheers. We appreciate it, guys. All the best. See you later.